What is resonating at this time?
Miss Marcia, there is a large amount of Jamaicans who aren't voting.
That is what is resonating.
Have the capacity to understand these things.
I know, but what I'm saying, what is the poor man on the street taking away from what he said this yesterday?
Oh, we pick them go to school and them all get free lunch and this and this. You know what they go do? And that it's poor man on the street. That's what I say. But them don't understand.
I am just saying, exactly.
Run with it, Miss Marcia. Them run with it.
We have to talk about things that will connect immediately because those are the mass out there that they're capturing. Why do you think that they said that to give the teachers them? Because every poor man can say, yes, man, because a teacher, they teach me picnic, right? The teachers them is a huge voting block and they want to control that narrative there. So I am not saying that you're wrong to talk about the Junior Stock Exchange. But we have to go with the flow of what they're talking about as of now. I could be wrong about it, but that's how I look at it.
We cannot ignore the fact that the government has put a lot in place that speaks to every single Jamaican. Over the years, we have saw the dwindling in the voter turnout. There are many Jamaicans who understand these things, but they don't vote.
So the Bushman will not understand, we just listen to the quick news.
And then you have a lot of people they who don't. Right?
That's what Miss Marcia talking about.
Yeah, man, I get what Marcia's talking about, and she's right. She's very correct. But on these platforms, you have to appeal to everybody. Yeah, if you want to look on the look on the statistics for the Trans Highway, right? The government forced companies like Mayberry and JMMB, who if you don't have this big money to invest, right, you could invest only $2,000. So yes, the average man did get into that.
The junior stock market, that.
Yeah, the average man got into these things, right? Because every single person, right, understand money. They understand they want more of it. In fact, I think it's Camilla Reynolds, right? She was showing a woman who's selling at the market, talking about her portfolio. If we can get more Jamaicans to understand the importance of these things, then we can raise the level, the conversation.
Yeah, take the veil from over them, yes.
Yeah. So, Marcia, I agree. We need to talk about the things that are directly impacting Jamaicans that they know of. Yeah. But there are other things that are directly impacting Jamaicans, right? That some know and understand. And then some don't understand and need people like you, me, and the others who come on these platforms to explain it to them.
But what we have to do, as I keep saying, the news is a 24-hour cycle, right? What they talk about is what is happening at this moment, right? The push of the news for today. Everybody, the news media, the TV, everybody's talking about how they're gonna give away this and give away that. I mean, I hear nobody that talk about the Jamaica Stock Exchange. There comes a time and a place when I'm not saying not to talk about it. What I'm saying, there comes a time and a place where we have to choose the battle then. Right?
Yeah, would I lean more towards
what I'm trying to say is that it's a good thing about it's a good thing about the Jamaica Stock Exchange. One thing somebody came on our live and told us one time, we have to use terms that people will understand. So when we talk about deficit, and when we talk about this, and when we talk about those big terms, where
you're right, man.
Most of the average Jamaican are not familiar with. It's the same with the bank account. Look how that resonates immediately. 28 bank accounts, and until this day,
the man associated with
they're still talking about 28 bank accounts like it is illegal in Jamaica. When you ask them, what is a bank account? How much bank account you have?
What's the limit? The limit is 27.
How much bank account you have? Your limit is what? 27 with what? Man, what's wrong with you?
No, me know say I'm not 27, I'm being sarcastic. So me I say true because
You
I'm
be careful
27
because people they listen to you.
and the government have 28.
That don't why upset Miss Marcy, you know.
No, but people that
say I
listen
watch
when
the
they talk
budget
about
debate and leave our repeat, man.
you just play into their narrative. But the point I'm trying to make is that we have to talk what is in the news.
I say somebody in the back want talk to you.
Hi, who is it? Go ahead.
Hey, Marcia, what's up? It's been a while.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
You talk about been a while like say me you used to meet and talk and greet.
Me ain't a friend, man. Me ain't in the live all the while. When you're coming across so aggressive.
No, I talk to my enemies. I talk to my enemies also. Go ahead. What do you want to say to me?
Me I just say in PMP budget more resonant with some people as opposed to the JMP budget. And you come like I same thing also. The PNP use more terms where Jamaica people they understand and can relate to.
No, my dear, it's not to say it resonate more. What the people here is about, and this is where the PNP are good at doing that, is a free. Immediately they said they're going to give $1 billion to people like you. $1 billion to people like you. For what? Taxpayers' money. Nathaniel, mute please, Nathaniel. Then they come back and says, we're going to give everybody breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack in between. Right?
If me have $72,000, which it is more than that, if me have $72,000, I can get a vehicle, a used vehicle, for $720,000. Once me have my 10%, me can do that. Let us move away. From. Good morning. Let us move away from the vehicle, because people, and this is why I say, we are such surface thinkers. She say, go get a Pro Box. Me would have look upon it and say, me don't want a Pro Box. I want a piece of land. Me want a piece of land. Make me go get a piece of land, because for me, land I go always appreciate, and Jamaica land keep on appreciating. And I come here and I say this every single day. Mila, me come here and I say it every single day. It no matter where you are. Right now, St. Elizabeth is on the cusp of development, right? There's so much going on in St. Elizabeth right now. The last time I checked, Angelina, Julian, and them people, they down at Treasure Beach every time. And you know, here all young people are say, maybe buy a piece of land down there so and go and sacrifice. The pier down at Black River open. Them I get a new KFC down there. Them have cricket game going down there. Them have boating game going down there. And when other people go down there, maybe like the rich people, them go down there and make these investments, you go here say, we sell it out. But we just stuck in a one particular place. And the place that we're stuck in is the gravel. We're stuck in a dirt because we don't look past what a man say. Bro, Fayeval can come tell me what me fi use my, when me think about that 2,000 additional dollar, you know, me and miss everybody in the uproar, me say, all right, me not in our Fayeval say with this with the 72,000. Moreover, let me tell you this. It is going to be 24,000 for this year for 1 year. Remember now, next year it's going to be an additional $2,000 that you're getting. So it's going to increase from 2 to 4, right? So you're going to save 48,000 next year. And the other year, you're going to save an additional. So you're supposed to end up by the end of 3 years with 144,000 miller. You understand what I say?
The friend said there is nowhere in Jamaica you can get land for 72,000. But you can't get it for that. Still, you know.
I am not talking about land. I'm not talking about land for $72,000. So where was your saving before she said $72,000? You never have no money I put on. So are the only saving this you have now? Are the only savings this you have? And this is why I said some of you guys are surface level thinkers. Let me go back to what I was saying. I say, all right, Trans Jamaica sell them shares for $3 something now. Me divide the $2,000 miller immediately and say how much shares me can get. When I did that, I got 666 shares, right? We are expecting that to increase. And if I do that, Miller, and buy 666 shares this month, next month, me do the same. 666 times 2 is how much? And just in case the 666 shares increase within 4 months, me just say triple it. Triple the $3 to $9, say it increase, right? When I do that, Miller, within 4 months, me have $17,000 versus putting down just $2,000 and in 4 months may have $8,000. So people need to stop looking at surfaces and thinking of way to invest your money. There is this guy as well, regular on TikTok. The man said me buy one goat for $80,000 and the goat give him 2 kids and him selling one of the kids for $150,000. So the 72,000 were favor. No, him saying buy for 65,000 actually.
Yeah.
So the 72,000 favor. I tell us, say, all right, where you go save in a 1 year. By the next year, Miller, you're supposed to reach at 300,000. So there's nothing when you buy the goat, I'm using the example, right? Because the goat are going to get big. Maybe within even 6 months, the goat get big, breed, you sell it back. Because that is another business avenue.
Yeah.
You understand what I say? So people need to stop say, oh, me I go put on the money in the bank. When you put on your money in the bank at 2 cents, you get pan it at 1 cent and 8 cents. So we need to get out of this mindset where somebody is going to come and save you. Government not going to come save you, you know. Nobody is going to come and save you. Absolutely nobody. For the person who is saying, oh, there's no land here for this, there's no land here for that. You can't buy land in a Kingston. You cannot buy land in a Montego Bay. You have to look on the outskirts. You also have to listen to the government where they are going. How many people buy land in a St. Thomas? When the government has said, oh, we're going to develop St. Thomas.
Right. Yeah.
You know, say, Dean Jenner, I can't call them name, regular TikTokers. Dean Jenner buy a piece of land in a St. Thomas. I think he bought it for 600,000. Me have a sister from St. Thomas. She buy a piece of land down there 2 years ago, 300,000. Where them landed they know. You understand what I say? So you have to listen. It's not all about, oh, them said I'm going to, you have to listen. And especially when you see a working government, you just have to listen to what them say and say, all right, this is go on. Just like how I point out St. Elizabeth a while ago. You can look what go on and say, all right, let me grab one little piece of land. Land there sent yourself for $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million. Go to NHT, use your points. NHT give you $3.5 million. Use your points and buy it. You understand me? We need to stop looking. You will never be able as a regular man to buy a piece of land inside of Kingston, inside of Montego Bay. Portmore worse. St. Thomas now even worse. So stop thinking. I don't know. And it bothers me. It bothers me because we lack critical thinking.
Yeah,
it bothers me.
Really bother me. That's why
There's another thing. There's another thing I want to say to you. We cost call center every single day. There's this girl ordered some headsets from me, some earbuds, some knockoff earbuds from China. I send them go get her. She spent $300 US with me because I order things from China for people all the time. She spent $300 US with me, Miller. Right? And the girl called me and the girl said to me, say, my girl, me make $1,000 US back. Because the quality earbuds is like they were basically the same with Apple have.
Yeah.
You understand what I say? So you put on your $2,000, Miller, you can do something with it. You can do something with it. In a bad, you just have to have ambition.
But it's a form of saving, even if you don't want to buy a car. You just an example she are using.
Exactly.
You don't have to go buy car.
People come Moby all the time and people say, oh, Moby, you get to them don't look like the get to them what we see in a Kingston, poverty and this and that. Because the people then build them room block by block, steel by steel. Little sand here, little sand there. I saw it go. Let me tell you something what me learned growing up. My family has a lot of properties. And you know how it go? My grandmother would start paying down on a property. And once my father reached Jamaica, she gave him the receipt. She can go introduce him to the person and say, complete that payment. Mm-hmm. You understand what I say? My grandmother never say, me have the whole of the $5 million. You understand me? But guess what? She took a step. She took a step in a Miller.
Yeah.
She took a step. She never sit down and say, me I wait until me get the whole of the money one time. She never do that. She started when my father come. She say, hey, right? This or that and that or that. But to each his own. Me learn different ways. Some are we full of pride. Some are we no want credit. But how the rich man reach where him reach. Spending your money is not key.
What the finance minister said, go over them head so fast.
But Miller, good morning, and last. The persons were listening to the video, and that's why we have a comprehension problem and we have an English problem in this country. Yeah. Because if you listen to the video, she did not say you're gonna pay $72,000 for a Pro Box. That would be ridiculous. That would be madness.
Me let me break up. Me I listen.
You can put it. You can put it towards. That's a total different meaning from you can purchase. Yeah, English matters, but let us backpedal a little bit. So Julian Robinson came to Parliament yesterday, and he had nothing in it for PAYE earners. Mm-hmm. Under PMP government, two things are gonna happen or can happen. There'll be no increase in the threshold because that was not covered. So that is not a priority of the People's National Party, even though they were beating the government last year to increase it to $3 million. There was no mention of it. So the PMP had 2 consecutive budget cycles to tell us at which direction they plan to do PAYE. So that $2,000 under PMP government, you can kiss that goodbye. Now, the PMP came to Parliament yesterday and put out their policy plans without cost associated with them. Who is going to pay for them? What is going to pay for them? What is the total cost to initiate these policies? You also have duplication of policies because we already have persons being fed at school who are under the PATH program. You're saying that you're going to feed every child. So you're telling me that the rich man who live up at Cherry Garden, Film Picnic, get breakfast too?
Yeah.
Off the box of the poor and needy? It does not add up. It does not make sense. Second, they plan to cap the water rate for persons over 65. You're telling me that persons like Dan Webby, Hugh Crosky, some of the other big names them where they're in Jamaica who are already rich billionaires, you're gonna cap their water bill as well? And I'm sure their water bill would be higher than the average man.
Of course.
So there's no clear indication of policy directive. They're just putting things out there and hoping that people will just grab onto it and come and vote. At what cost? NWC finally became a profitable company under this government, and capping for every person who is over 65 is actually running back the NWC back into debt. No clear policy indication on both of them. They remind me of the Jeep program, right? They come with energy, talking about we cannot trust the PMP as it pertains to energy. The PMP was the party that sold JPS and gave them a mandatory profit of 22.5% in their contract. Palwell in 2015 had the opportunity to renegotiate the contract on behalf of the people and chose to give the JPS had extended license, double the normal timeline that JPS typically gets. And it was there. Huh?
See, we have an EP on the live. Say you're talking madness.
This chat GPT, brother. Yeah?
Yeah, man, yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Don't get out of
But you-
place.
What?
Hold on.
All right, go ahead. Go on.
Me no mix facts with friction, you know, brethren. Me tell you when me I go deal with you already, you know. Sometime a weekend. So, as what me I said, Ream is favor budget presentation. Me could start this one.
No. Tell me about the opposition is fresh in my mind. Let's talk about let us.
Hey.
Hey.
You and me let's talk about
No, hold on. Your party just present a budget. Your party just present a budget yesterday. Tell me about.
No, man, me no have
Tell me about.
like this, brethren.
Tell me about. You don't come and change the conversation. We're talking about the PMP budget.
You can't dictate
Tell
to
me about the PMP budget yesterday. What
You
are the
can't
plans
dictate
for the
to me.
people? What are the costs and how will it be paid for? That is the only conversation I'm entertaining right now.
No, me never come here up on the screen and me lad, me no.
The conversation was going so good in a man, and just keep it on a living a man because
I am not
it was
entertaining him on the Jamaica Labour Party budget.
Alvaro,
We're talking about the PMP.
Miller, you know me and you and Kenneth different. So if we are going to have a conversation, I don't have a conversation from PMP, we are going to have a conversation where you educate me and me educate you. You don't come force your believer thought and me not force my believer thought. In the process, we can learn or not learn if we choose not to. You don't tell me what you want me to. If we are going to have a conversation, we say, we could start this. You're not going to say, no, start this. Start this.
Sir, when you came
I'm respectfully saying
about the plans of the PMP, do you want to continue on that line, sir?
Sir, you, Miller, and Kenneth continue have a conversation. I will stay.
Have yourself a good afternoon.
Alvaro. Winner, I believe that and please forgive me if I'm wrong. I believe that you and Alvaro are two intellectual minds. That's what I reason and talk to the people.
Listen to me. We were having a conversation on a particular directive. He's coming to change the narrative.
I never come here to change
sir. Let us talk about the plans of the PNP, then we can go to the plans of the Jamaica Labour Party.
What was the first thing I said? When I came in the chat?
I'm not looking at the chat.
What was the first thing I said when I came in the box?
Sir, are we talking about the PMP or are we going to talk about the JLP?
Sir, I respectfully rather to stay in the chat, in the comment section.
All right, sir.
Alvaro, what you want to talk about?
These two are from King Virgin. This not going to educate you, we not going to educate the wider people and we are watching things on the screen. This does sound like a two James people attack.
Guess what? We are going. I want you guys to dissect the opposition speech yesterday, and then we can move over to favor one and move on to another topic. So just stick on one topic: the opposition leader speech yesterday.
You can't do anything.
All right, because we want to hear about the opposition. If you listen to it, if you have anything about it.
I listen to everything, man. I mean, still need to rewatch both of them, but summatively, I have some idea to and from both.
So which one do you think makes sense? The JLP or the PMP budget?
That's what I was going to explain in the comparison, and this man start make up him nice. Like, him no have no education, I mean, no more smarter than that. So, let me explain again. As I was saying, I am more disappointed in favor of budget presentation for many reasons. First reason being, we don't address the likeliness of what's going on the outside of Jamaica in terms of with the tariff. Because we don't know what will happen yet, which can affect production, can affect goods and services, can affect employment. I think the government should have at least have some cushion in the budget to deal with that if and when the likeliness comes. Because we see everybody else over the world are prepared for that. That is internationally what happened. But also within our circle in CARICOM, there's a developing issue that's now come like they're going to take off. The same thing with the tariff, where Guyana is now saying that any country not taking their product, any Caribbean member state who is a member of CARICOM, they are going to place a rhetorical tariff on them as well. So when we look at what Guyana is saying, what is our export to the Caribbean? Why is it that we don't make Guyana force such on us? Why we not say, all right, we need to have a conversation? Miss Johnson, at some point in time, I think should have reached a State Department or somebody would have come to say that we need to have a conversation here because this is going to affect with the Manufacturing Association and the PSOJ and PIOJ. They say, all right, this is a directive way outside our control. We cannot do that. So me no hear opposition mention anything about that either. We likeness if them take power, what go happen with the tariff? We don't hear nobody. It's like everybody a play a bar game around it when it's already I go beat the world. It already I go beat.
Can I address that now? Are you still? Okay.
So we already know where it go happen, where it go affect. It go affect the car industry. That's we see what happen over here. So it make no sense to play blind on politics. But this is not with politics. We see what go happen. It have to do with politics, but outside politics, not Jamaican politics. Because France steel and aluminum increase, naturally cost of vehicle are going to increase. So even though the government now say them are going to reduce duty to 20%.
No, sir, not duty.
What is
not
it?
duty.
What is it?
It's a bond. And the bond does not add revenue to the government's coffers.
Why do?
It is just there as it's a bond.
No, me ask you, why do more explain to me?
It is a bond, so when the car come into the ports, as a part of the storage, overall storage condition, you pay a bond. Once the vehicle is cleared, that bond is returned to you.
Right.
For years, car companies have been complaining that, listen, this is not adding revenue to the government. What it's basically doing is tying up our capital. We could have invested in other things. Maybe we want to develop or expand, hire somebody else. We have all this cash tied up, sitting in an account, not doing anything. So it wasn't benefiting.
No, I move off a bond. Come here, ask you some question. Based on experience. All new car dealers have a bond warehouse. Because when the vehicle come, you don't pay duty same time. The duty is paid on those vehicles when it's either when the vehicle are going to sell or you take out the vehicle, we are going to label as a demonstration where you can give people to drive.
So you admit that there are two different money involved, the duty and the bond. And I'm saying that the bond does not add revenue to the coffers of
but a bond was always there. A bond,
but are you listening to what I'm saying? The bond does not add revenues to the government coffers. So, only the duty costs.
All right, me ask you a question now. So reducing the bond to whatever percentage, will it that revenue to the government cover? And if it does so, what type of revenue?
All right, let me explain this again. The bond does not add revenues to the coffers. What the bond does is tie up the capital of the new car company.
No, but
so when you
sir,
Jesus Christ. Listen to man. Listen to me, no man. All right. So, say for example, I pay $100,000 for the bond. Right? That is 100,000 tied up. The government saying, okay, all right, since this is not revenue to me, I'm going to reduce it by 80%. Now I'm paying $20,000 for the bond. Meaning now I have an additional $80,000 to invest in my company. Because that would have been capital that would have been available to me, but it's now tied up in government sitting there not doing anything.
I mean, I'm going to go back to the original question again. That's not how a bond with new vehicle works.
All right. Oh, God.
How do I know that's not how it works? I work at a car dealership for more than 5 years. In the accounts department, go drive vehicle off a wharf, and to a bond warehouse, that's not how a bond works. But if we continue this demonstration, I don't want to tell us how to work versus not so work. Both we are going to do a video with proper research.
So the government will be incorrect, and the new cars dealers association would also be correct in terms of how the bond operates.
But who come on contact?
But she's on record of stating such.
Who is she is on record?
The president.
Miss Jacqueline Leclerc Stewart.
Yes, she's here, man. Whatever her
I
name
work with Miss
is.
Jacqueline Leclerc
Sir,
Stewart.
she's.
5
Oh
years.
God. All right.
Yeah.
There's a Gleaner article. There's a Gleaner article from yesterday. I think it came out yesterday. Go and read that article.
Okay.
Right, thank you. All right. So let us talk about what Favour Williams said about shock to the economy because of geopolitics. That is why we have the NIR, Net International Reserve.
General,
That.
hold on.
We know before we know.
Yeah, but
Hear why you direct me now. Me ask you some question and you divert. Me ask me what me think about your position versus Favor's speech. And I mentioned some things which me think you're addressing now. You address a fraction I talking about.
So,
Me know here you address the tariff part. So me know if I tell you address no.
Let me speak about that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me hate people where no listen. Again, it come back to listening because Faval did highlight that. I think they mentioned 3 catastrophe risk what is it called? Catastrophe risk funds.
$42 million that she's loan for a real bank.
Sir, just allow me to finish.
No, but you make seminar listen like I don't know.
You know, I go come off of the platform I do come. I can't do this, you know. Anyhow.
No, I mean if you come off and me coming down the speak. I mean had me over here. So respect me friend and me see how you fight soon. So we can't have a conversation. I am the one who came in your space. Can it? Me touch you usually come more. You ready already. So me will talk.
Oh. But Alvaro, listen to me. Why, yo. The man is not willing to learn anything, bro. All right, so the minister already said, listen, we did a balanced budget, right? We could have, there was room to run a deficit. I think it was like 0.03 cc something percent, right? They chose not to run a deficit because I would have also sent a bad signal to the rest of the world that, listen, Jamaica is moving off of its current path that it is on. 2, you have to protect the net international reserve because that is used when shocks from external sources affects Jamaica because that is what we use to buy goods and services. So Jamaica is already protected with a net international reserve that is at its highest in history, $5.6 billion US.
And we know she did say we have about 3 disaster risk funds, and she specifically say one is for external shock. She never say like hurricane. She said she was being specific, like she said we see what's going on now in the world, and she did say we do have this fund. She talked about the one with Nigel. She talked about the one where the PNP continued, and then she said another one. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go back to look at it, right? But she did highlight these things that we have these things in place. He also is saying that we need to address it. How can you address something that is not at your doorstep? You just have to stay there, evaluate the risk, see what is happening, and put your plans in place. So you go come out where you want the government to come out and do scare the people them and say, oh, this is happening and we're gonna do this. Then when you look, you say, oh, this is not happening again. You cannot speak on something that is not yet affecting you. Trump's gonna put tariff on Canada this minute. By later today, we see the tariff gone. We gotta be smarter than that, people.
You have stock market to worry about,
fear mongering.
Exactly, you have a stock market to worry about. You don't want that to go crashing, and you don't want people to stop spending money.
That is what Donald Trump is doing to the economy now, because every time he opens his mouth, is the stock market plunges, and this is what you want for Jamaica. Come on, people.
And when you listen to when you have a government that gives you capital expenditure, increased spending in education, increased spending in health, national security, all of those key areas, and they were able to balance the budget without deficit and give the Jamaican people no new taxes while increasing the PAYE and also the electricity policy that they're trying to get people that are illegal off the grid. All of those initiatives plus others, and you have not have a deficit in your budget. Here comes Julian Robinson with a program called EASE that is mirroring the PATH program. He did not tell us the cost to feed every single child that is in school, whether them rich or them poor, they will be prepared a meal for. That comes at a cost. You talk about giving water, giving a cap for water rate for persons beyond 65. All persons, say rich people too. All the billionaire will get a cap. At what cost? How much is that calculated loss? You're planning to phase out asset tax on banks over a 5-year period. What is the initial cost upfront in year 1, year 2, year 3, until you phase this out? How do you plan to recoup all of these losses in government revenue?
But Miller, question, that same tax, is there any truth to it that same tax was injected by the PNP?
The PNP, the asset tax are normally used on financial institution when there's a crisis. So whenever
I think it was done by Peter Phillips, I think it was absolutely done under Peter Phillips. So we can check that out. But I think I saw something yesterday that it was done by him.
I listened to both of the budget speech.